Hello, I'm Susan Gibson, and today I'm presenting this research snapshot on behalf of professionals and researchers in early childhood intervention, or PRACI. I'm presenting today on Kaurna country, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and of all the lands across Australia. We recognise their deep and continuing connection to land, sea, and community, and we pay our respects to elders past and present. We also extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Today's topic, I'll be discussing the article titled Authentic Assessment of Executive Functions in Early Childhood, a scoping review published in the Journal of Early Intervention. Tracy chose this article because it focuses on authentic assessment approaches in early childhood, an area of growing interest and importance. So what you need to know. This scoping review explores how executive functions, or EFs, are assessed in young children, particularly using authentic approaches. Executive functions are higher-order cognitive processes responsible for inhibitory control, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. These functions are essential for children's everyday learning, behaviour, and development. However, standardized neuropsychological tests often don't reflect how children actually use these skills in real-life situations. That's where authentic assessment comes in, using real-world naturalistic methods like observations, play-based tasks, and caregiver or educator reports. The goal of the review was to map out current practices and identify gaps in how these assessments are conducted for children under the age of 6 years. So what was the research about? The core research question was, what literature is available on the authentic assessment of executive functions in early childhood? What did the researchers do? The team conducted a scoping review following the Joanna Briggs Institute guidelines and the PRISMA SCR reporting standards. The researchers reviewed literature published between 2010 and 2021 and identified 790 publications. Of these, 32 met the criteria for authentic assessment of executive functions in children under the age of 6. They used an iterative data extraction process, updating their framework as they reviewed each study. Key findings. 1. Commonly assessment tools, such as the Behaviour Rating Inventory of Executive Functioning, Preschool Version or Brief P, and the Childhood Executive Functioning Inventory or CHEXI were the most frequently used. Both rely on adult reports and neither is validated for children under 24 months. And that there is a clear lack of tools for multidimensional or ecologically valid assessment in very young children. 2. Terminology gaps. Many studies didn't use the term authentic assessment, but employed ecologically valid methods such as caregiver involvement or naturalistic observation. 3. Frequently assessed executive function domains. The 4 commonly assessed executive functions were identified, being inhibitory control, working memory, cognitive flexibility, and planning. And 4, equity and inclusion gaps. Tools often lack validation for children from low-income backgrounds, children with disabilities, or culturally and linguistically diverse populations. How can this research be used? This review supports the integration of authentic executive functions assessments into early childhood education, early intervention and disability services, research and policy development, and parent and caregiver practices. It also reinforces the importance of using assessments that inform individual goal setting, support tailored interventions, and accurately reflect each child's unique developmental context. So what does authentic executive functions assessment look like? Effective authentic assessments are culturally and linguistically appropriate, respecting the child's background, language, and family context, are conducted in natural settings like homes, classrooms, or playgrounds where children feel comfortable, are based on careful observation using structured and unstructured approaches to observe real-life executive function behaviours, and are play-based when appropriate, since play offers a powerful window into executive functioning, especially for younger children. So where to from here? There are clear opportunities for advancing the field, particularly by developing and validating new tools, that is, tools that combine observation, informant reports, and performance tasks, and tools that are validated for diverse populations. 2, adopting authentic executive function frameworks using models aligned with developmentally appropriate naturalistic observations. 3, incorporating informant-based ratings using tools like Brief P and CheckC, which still offer useful insights from parents and educators. 4, by expanding play-based and observational methods, that is, observing how children use executive functions in everyday routines and play, and ensuring cultural and contextual relevance by aligning assessments with each child's cultural and linguistic background. So in conclusion, although authentic assessment of executive functions in early childhood is still an undeveloped area, this review highlights its critical role in meaningful, inclusive evaluation. There's a clear need for more ecologically valid tools, greater cultural responsiveness, and approaches that reflect real-life executive function use across all children. This final slide provides author details and correspondence information for the lead researcher. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this snapshot informative. To explore more research snapshots, please visit our Pracy website. Thank you for listening.